outperform. So welcome to tonight's Foreclosure Daily webinar. Foreclosures Daily connects buyers with motivated sellers, and they've been doing that since 2004. I was going to make them older than they were. So, okay, just making sure my little things here. So Foreclosures Daily is your trusted nationwide real estate lead partner. So if you're an investor or realtor, they are the company that can help you get leads. They have nationwide reach, connecting investors, realtors, attorneys, and first-time buyers with high-quality leads. And I can say that because I've been a client of theirs since 2018. They're an industry leader since 2004, and they've become the internet's top destination for detailed, timely real estate information. It's expertise that you can trust, and their commitment is to excellence ensures that you receive the most accurate and up-to-date data that's available. I am Nancy Wallace-Laabs. I am your host. And my background is I'm a licensed real estate broker here in Texas. I'm a best-selling author. I co-founded Money Makin Mamas with my beautiful daughter there in the picture, Kelsey Laka. We have a podcast called Money Makin Mamas, and it's for all mamas of all ages and stages. Men, you can listen to it too. I also am a pre-probate specialist. So I work with the pre-probate leads from ForeclosureDaily.com. And I've been leveraging those leads to uncover a niche of leads that are not very competitive. So I also do some training on that. And but anyway, it's a great way to find off-market properties. And now, if you're a client of Foreclosures Daily, you're also going to receive my book called Winning Deals and Heels. It's just my story and 9 other women, kind of like the similarities of how we got started and how we overcame obstacles and achieved success in real estate investing. But how is ForeclosuresDaily.com? Well, why is it an advantage? Well, number one, it's real estate focused data. Now, I can tell you that I've used other companies, and I would get leads. I would get the leads and the list, but there would be no real estate. So you want to make sure that you're working with a company like Foreclosures Daily because they have real estate specific information. And depending on the type of leads that you can get them daily, weekly, or monthly. You benefit from property appraiser data on most data types. So it's going to give you the value of the real estate and that kind of thing. And it's specialized for real estate. So unlike a lot of reports from other companies, their data is farmed exclusively for the real estate market. And they prioritize delivering up-to-date targeted information to keep you ahead of the game. Now, the type of leads that you can get from ForeclosuresDaily.com is probate, pre-probate, absentee owners, divorce, distressed, code violations, auctions, inheritance, evictions, tax lates, lease pens, and cash buyers. So there's a plethora of ways that you can find off-market properties and by getting their leads. And you can sign up to receive all of them or just one of them. And they also have a marketing toolbox. And so you're going to learn a lot about this tonight. So there's direct mail, there's ringless voicemails. It's really everything you need to market to these leads. There's skip tracing. You can use live operators if you want to call them, They also provide sample letters. They also provide a company that does website creation if you don't have that. And they have access to private money lenders. So once you get the leads, they don't just sell you the leads, they sell you the process of how you can best work those leads, by marketing. So just buying the leads isn't enough. You got to know how to market to them. And tonight, I'm so excited because we have one of their marketing partners with us. We have Marketing by Hand, and they're going to talk more about what they do. I can personally recommend them. I've used them before. And this is just a seamless way to get the leads. They go in. I'm going to let them tell you more about the process, but it's really a great way to just, if you are a busy person and you just need to market to these leads and just get your phone to ring, then you definitely need to be talking to Wendy and Jeff tonight. Going forward, here we go. Now, I'm going to introduce them. So I just talked about Wendy Henderson and Jeff Rhodes. So Jeff is the founder of Marketing by Hand, and he did that in 2011. And he has a passion for reviving the lost art of handwritten communication in business. He recognizes that personal connection drives engagement, and Jeff developed a system that allows real estate investors to generate high quality leads at the lowest cost per acquisition in the industry. And his expertise in direct response marketing has helped countless professionals cut through the noise, bypass digital fatigue, and connect with motivated sellers. And I can tell you, people respond to the direct mailing. And then we have Wendy Henderson, and I know her a little bit better. I just met Jeff tonight, so it was very nice, Jeff, to meet you. He's a Texan, now transplanted to Vermont. But Wendy became a partner at Marketing by Hand in August 2023, and she has such a wealth of experience in real estate and nonprofit marketing. She's got a proven track record. She has successfully implemented various strategic initiatives, including direct mail, cold calling, text messaging, and her efforts have led to over 100 residential property purchases and more than $250,000 in donations for nonprofit organizations. So please help me welcome Wendy and Jeff tonight. And I am going to stop my share, you guys, and I'm going to let you go ahead and, whoops, here we go. Click the wrong button. I'm getting there. Stop the share. Okay, now you guys should be able to share your screen. Take it away, Wendy and Jeff. Thanks.
Thank you, Nancy. Yes, so good to be here. Wendy, are you going to queue up? There we go.
We're going.
Okay. Yes, thank you for the invitation. It's good to be back here to Probates Daily, Foreclosures Daily again. We have a healthy and long-standing relationship with many clients from this organization. So I'm happy that still after this many years, because it's been, I think, 8 since we started being recommended by Foreclosures Daily, that we are still relevant and have long-term clients. And what we do is simple. It's so simple. We have 40 minutes to talk about the importance or the effectiveness of handwriting a letter and what that can do to its recipient. So we're gonna give it our best here. Wendy, if you'll cue up the next slide. Okay, so what we would like to do here is convince you, if you're not convinced, that handwriting has a good place in any direct mail strategy. I believe, having done this for a number of years, I see demographic preferences. I think anyone that has written letters or thank you letters knows what goes into it. We tend to be, it seems to be a little bit of a lost art. So I know that audience members here on this presentation that are close to my age, we've written thank you notes. We've written letters. We know what it takes. We know what we receive when we receive one. I think that the concept of using handwriting on your envelope and in your messaging to deliver your message effectively is an easier sell for people my age. For those unconvinced, we're going to make our best case here. So we want to show you how to do it yourself. If you will try this yourself and get the results, we believe that you may expand operations and give us a call or someone like us. So what we're going to talk about is how to maximize the success of your direct mail program. You can brand yourself with handwritten mail. And, it's a good hedge. I don't know your state and local laws on cold calling and SMS messaging. That's always seems to be in flux, but we can still send mail. So, and it's a very powerful marketing tool. You can do this all yourself. You can employ help. You could hire us to be your partner in this, but let's look at what it takes. Okay. And talk about the importance, why we're even speaking to this. So I love this quote. They may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And so, from a marketing perspective, what's important to me is recall, recognition. I remember the American Marketing Association, this was years ago, this is maybe in the 90s, they came out with a study that was really diving into, if you use 3 different mediums of communication to a prospect, your chances of their engagement really skyrockets. We think that a direct mail using handwriting is a good accommodation to maybe a phone call. or if you can send a text, that too. But do not rely only on one marketing method. Make sure you have a multimodal technique. But this, Wendy, next slide, if you will. That was talking about a good shelf life. I'll get to that a little bit later. We want you to win at the mailbox. That's what we say around here. Don't let your advertising dollars end up in the trash. And so that's what we do here. We're the little handwriting shop that could, you know. This is about quality mail versus quantity. So the Foreclosures Daily list, they're courthouse generated. They're not mass lists, right? They're focused. They carry with them some research and a price tag. It is, I would dare say, it's an expensive list that we need not send cheap mail to. So to guarantee your best open rate and your read rate, once it's open, it needs to be read too. Deliver high quality direct mail to your prospects. We're going to circumvent some of that mail sorting behavior. That's what we do when we all go to the mailbox and we head back inside with a handful. We determine what we're going to throw out, what we're going to read. And this helps. This gets, like we said, don't let your advertising dollars end up in the trash. These get opened. We're going to deal with the uniqueness or unique attributes of probate leads. Why handwritten mail? You know, it sets you apart. It increases your odds against your competitors. Let them send junk mail. You send direct, authentic correspondence. See what happens. This will produce a greater number of qualified inquiries. Okay. It will lead to a lower cost per lead because it's more effective. It exhausts less data. So if you have a data set of, say, 500 addresses, you know, well, if you sent traditional mail to that, it would yield a result. But you may find that you can send less mail to a smaller subset of that and get the same result. So maybe it only takes 100 letters if they're handwritten to achieve what 500 would do through traditional methods. It gives you a better return on your investment. Thank you. Sorting behaviors. I mentioned that, you know, we all do this when we come back from the mailbox. In general, and, you know, we conducted a survey long ago. In general, about 1 out of 10 people open all their mail that we found. They're looking for coupons. They're looking for deals. My mother-in-law is a perfect example. And she opens up everything that is sent to her. And then there's another similar segment, about 10%, that they only open recognizable mail. They know the sender. They're looking at the return address. They know that sender. It's a bill, it's a check, they recognize it. But the rest of us, about 80%, I know I'm one of them. I look at envelopes, I scan for relevancy as I'm walking to the trash, right? And I'm only going to open just a fraction of what's been sent to me. So when we talk about probates in particular, or pre-probates, when a family is gathering mail at a deceased relative's mailbox, sorting and screening is even further intensified. So they especially are not looking for coupons. Okay. Family members are looking for what's relevant. There's a uniqueness of probate leads. These are small lists, right? They're time sensitive, long decision-making period. It requires multiple touches. I know when I first came across Foreclosures Daily and the REI industry, in fact, in this focused area, it did surprise me. It really surprised me how long the decision-making cycle can be for a family to determine what the final disposition of that property is going to be. And so these are long decision-making cycles oftentimes. It does require staying top of mind. When we make recommendations to a program's design, we generally recommend bookending, meaning your first letter and your last letter of your effort, of your sequence, let that be your best. Let that be the Cadillac of your sequence, okay? There are address differences within your database that you may see. You need to decide, are we going to mail to the property address, to the family, or to the mailing address? Do we have a personal representative? And if so, let's send to them. So There's multiple decision makers many times, and they may not get along and they may not agree. I had already mentioned the intensified mail sorting. You definitely want to use first class postage. Today, I believe that's 73 cents a letter. Post office keeps going up, but it's still for 73 cents to send a piece of mail. That's still, I think, a pretty good deal. So, but go with first class. First class will forward to address changes that the family may make after the probate filing. All sorts of things can happen in this space. So do go with first class. And secondly, in a multiple touch mailing program, you want to receive your return letters if the address is bad. Just in case that address is bad, we need to know soon. So first class will come back. You can take it out of your list. Don't spend any more time or effort sending more mail to that address. Okay. Lastly, your messaging in probates or pre-probates in particular that requires tact, okay, and respect. So, Wendy, next slide, if you don't mind. Best practices, multiple approaches, and it's not that difficult. To achieve marketing success in any program, you at least have to have some things lining up. Say the right things to the right people at the right time and compel their action. That's all that we can do, right? The rest is determined by forces beyond our control. But if we at least are doing that in the marketing piece, then we've done what we can do to win at the mailbox. This came from a current client. 6 to 8 postcards just in his history of doing this to match the marketing performance of one fully handwritten, hand addressed mail piece. So please take this seriously. Consider doing it. Open rates can be astronomically higher on a hand addressed envelope, okay, compared to anything else. Auto pens have not, and robotic technology has not caught up yet to match the nuances of a human being in our script. We're not there yet. And that is something that we watch for as an organization. Response rates can be significantly higher. Okay, we see ranges clearly from, I had somebody tell us, what was it, Wendy, that someone said like 14%. I don't think that was taken correctly, but they can be high. You can hit a good streak with them. But what we do here is aim to achieve something to justify your investment, you know, whether you do it yourself or use us, to achieve something greater than a response rate of traditional mail. It is about, I won't go through all of this. I know this will be saved and indexed and YouTubed, but ultimately this is one of the most common, I'd say, fallacies that I see in marketing and speaking with investors, especially new investors, is a confusion between the lowest cost per opportunity and the lowest cost per mail piece. Again, it goes back to, do not send cheap mail to an expensive list. Send something appropriate. This is about cost per lead, cost per phone call. When you have a high open rate and a high response rate, okay, that cost per opportunity goes down. And so, yes, that's what we're looking to do, is to add something to your pipeline, acquisition pipeline, at a very low cost for that pipeline entry. And Wendy, I think you're going to talk a little bit about on the next slide, I think.
Yeah, if the slide will move. Okay, there we go. So this is what a typical process should look like. So whether this is you doing it, this is us doing it, someone doing it for you, this is typically what it would look like. So first of all, you're going to need to go out and source your stock and your supplies. You're going to create your mailing campaign, create your letters, download, clean, and prep, write your letters, mail your letters, track your responses and updates, and repeat your steps. So let's talk a little bit about each one of these. So you're going to source your stocks and your supplies. So that's your card stock, your paper, your envelopes, pens, and stamps. So of course you can get things from Amazon. There's envelopes.com. You can go to Target. You can find things You just have to do some looking around. From there, you're going to create your mailing campaign. We typically recommend 4 to 6 touches. I worked for, as Jeff mentioned, I worked for a local investor in the Tampa area for 5 years. We had programs that ran 4 touches. We had some that ran 6. So it just kind of depends. But what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to map all of that out. So you track it and you know what it's going to look like. So your first touch goes here. Well, when the first touch went here, your second touch is going to go here. So that's that same touch. So you need to make sure that you're tracking everything. You've got a spreadsheet, you've got a whatever it is that you want to track it with, but you do need to track it. You need to make sure that you have your letters. And like Jeff said, you want to make sure that you're sensitive in these areas. But you want to make sure that you've got several different letters, especially when there's 4 to 6 touches. Next, you're going to download it, your list. Here's Probate's daily screen if you're not familiar with it. And then this is what your lists are going to look like when they come back. And then from there, you're going to clean them and prep them and get ready to go mail them. So you're going to write your letters. So handwriting, like Jeff said, we handwrite our letters. We had scribes all over the country that actually write our letters for us. So you're going to be writing your letters. You're going to have someone write them for you, depending on who they are. If it's you and you're writing letters and you're, doesn't take, sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes. It just depends on who it is and who's writing. So then you're going to, after you're done, you're going to go pop those in the mailbox. You want to get them in there as soon as you possibly can. Now it's time to track your response rate. So you're going to have a spreadsheet. You're going to track here. So like, here's a stack over here of return mail. What you want to do with that return mail is you want to, like Jeff said, you want to make sure you don't send to them again. But in that case, so sometimes the post office will give you a forwarding address that the forwarding has just expired. But what you want to do is you want to go in there and you want to skip trace those. You want to cold call them if you can. You can possibly text message again. It depends on the state you live in. You want to be careful with that, but go in and then see if you can find another way. But so these can be gold, but you want to be able to go in there and look at those and do some deep digging on those and do some deep research. And then you repeat your steps. So every week you're doing the same thing over and over again. Jeff, I'll let you tell them about how marketing by hand got started. That's Jeff. Jeff, are you there?
Oh, pardon me. I needed to unmute myself. But I'm the only one to ever make that mistake. Probably not. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy has shown how to do this yourself. Please do, or consider having it done for you. I founded in 2011 Marketing by Hand. I was working at a business-to-business marketing agency, and we were attempting to help a company in Austin, Texas, a software company, ERP software company, I believe, crack through a list of some people that for 2 years their internal sales team could not get to. And we put together a recommendation for a handwritten letter campaign. And honestly, with a blue ballpoint bic and some paper, we did more than what their sales team internally could in 2 years, as far as bypassing gatekeepers and getting appointments set. That's when I knew, hey, this handwritten letter it's not dead. It still works. And it absolutely works. Real estate's only one of the areas that we operate in, but so out of all of this, I'll let everybody read if they wish to, but it's not rocket science, but it is time consuming. It is manual labor to produce letters. We run a tight ship and have quality control in place and have been doing this a number of years. I think what you will like about our services, should you choose to go with us, is our tremendous familiarity with Probate's Daily, Foreclosures Daily, their list and the process. So next slide, Wendy. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about our services?
Yeah, so let me tell you a bit real quick about our services. So we do letters and envelopes. We have over 30 sales scripts that we can provide to you. We'll do your list management for you. And if you need something that we don't offer on a regular basis, you let us know what it is, and we will do our very best to create it for you. So currently, what the extent of the services that we do provide, again, we manage your database for you. So what we do on Wednesdays when Probates Daily releases their data, we log in to your site, we download it, we clean it, prep it, and mail to it. If you have anything that you don't want to mail to, if you're only doing single families, you let us know. If you don't want to mail to anything over $500,000, if you want to only do a certain zip code, whatever it is that you don't want to mail to, you just let us know. We clean that up for you. What we do is we will give you a link to a Google Sheet, and you keep us apprised of your return mail, the leads that you've converted, or your suppression. So it's your suppression list. So anything, again, that's been returned that you don't want to send mail to again. If you're working with someone, you have a lead, you don't want to mail to them again. And if you've had someone contact you and ask you to remove them from their list, you want to put them on there. So typically we have a 7-day turn time. So say tomorrow is Wednesday. So the lists that get cleaned, downloaded, and prepped tomorrow, they get assigned tomorrow. And then those letters will go in the mail a week from tomorrow. We do have a 48-hour option if that's something that you did desire. Currently, the majority of our scribes are in Lakeland, Florida, which is where I live. However, we have scribes all over the country. We have them in Pennsylvania, Texas, Tennessee, California, and then, of course, Florida, as I said. And then on Friday, what happens is we send you your invoice that's paid in full. We'll send you the actual raw data file that we downloaded up from Probates Daily on Wednesday. And then we're going to send you a quick email summary. So it's going to say, hey, Joe, today we sent out 50 diamonds for your first touch, and we sent out 43 golds to your second touch. So whatever it was that got sent out, that's kind of just, it's a summary that's in your email. So here are what our packages look like currently. So the diamond is the top of the line. So everything that we do is going to be completely hand addressed on the envelope. Okay. So a diamond's going to have a colored envelope that rotates every month. It's going to have a stamp that's seasonally specific if it's available from the post office. If it's not, it's going to be something typically whatever the newest thing is. It's going to have white ink, gold, metallic ink, or silver ink, usually depending on the color of the envelope. The handwritten piece that is inside is going to be a folded note card. It's going to be written in blue ink, and it's going to be typically 55 to 60 words. Anything more than that just gets to be too much. It gets to be kind of muddy, and you don't want to lose that. You want it to be clean and easy to be able to be read, and you want some white space in there. And so that's the diamond. That is, again, the top of the line. If you step down one, we have a platinum. So you're going to get that same handwritten piece on the inside, but the envelope is going to be a white envelope in the same blue ink, and it's going to have the traditional flag stamp that the post office offers. A step down from those is called our gold line. So anything that is run through a laser printer is going to be the gold line. So you can still use that same note card. You can then get about 100 words on it. You're going to still have a wet signature, and you can use the note card. We do have some clients, and it was one of the things that I did as well, is we have, we kind of mock up stationery for you. So you can do a full letter. I recommend doing that maybe on the third, fourth touch, somewhere down the line, if you want to give more information about what you can do to help the person that's in, to help the person that you're trying to help by buying their house. So just whatever more information you can give if you want to do a full letter. So again, anything that goes through a laser printer is either a gold or a gold plus. The gold plus is going to have the same colored envelope, the unique stamp, and the metallic ink. And then if you step down to the gold, you're going to have the white envelope with the blue ink, the hand and the flag stamp. And again, the blue, excuse me, sorry about that. And it's going to have the blue ink and a wet signature. So Jeff, I'll let you finish this up.
Yes, I think, but you have some testimonials on the next slide, I think. But we want you to join our list of happy clients. All that Wendy said, all that she said, I can repackage by saying, normally this data is uploaded at Foreclosures Daily on Wednesday mornings. That's when it's finally available. And we want our clients, if they use us to sleep in that day. Don't worry about it. You don't have to go and pull it immediately. We've already done it. We're very easy to do business with. There's no contracts with us. There are no contracts. Come give us a whirl. I think that, give it a little time. Marketing campaigns take a little time to get some momentum. And I think that, the fact that we've designed the program with Foreclosures Daily to accommodate it so well is really just a testament to Foreclosures Daily. They taught us what their clients need. And so we have tailored it to be that way. It is automatic. We are your mailing partner. So yes, do give us some consideration on that. Next slide, Wendy. There's going to be a QR code coming up that you can take. Our phone numbers, email addresses. You can go to marketingbyhand.com right now and use our contact form, but speak with us a little bit. Talk to us. Tell us about your data set, what counties you're looking at, what type of data it is, your ideas on messaging. We have a starting point on that so that we can help. But give us a call. We're going to need your list or access to your list. Then we're going to write your letters in envelopes and put them into the mail within 7 days and rinse and repeat. That's just what we do here. Thank you for making it to the end of our presentation. So if you'll give us a call and start your mailing program in the month of April, the first 25 letters, they're on us. We're going to do it on our nickel. Give us a shot. Thank you. Nancy, do we have question and answer, or it is
we do. Can you hear me okay? Because I still have to take
yes.
Okay. So Chip says they emailed over the weekend but haven't heard anything. What is the best way to get specific information? I'm guessing specific information about you guys and the services. So
Chip, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, check your email because I saw that 2 emails have gone out to you so far. There'll be a link in there. If you hop in the link and schedule a quick meeting with us, we can answer whatever specifics you have, questions you have. Now that you've sat through this, you know the majority of what we would explain to you. So if you just want to talk specifics, hop in there, grab, 15 minutes, and we'll go through whatever questions you have and take care of it for you.
Kendra says cost. Sorry, I was on a phone call. If you already said it, please recap. So she's looking for a recap on the pricing.
If she would go in, and this kind of goes for everyone. If you'll go in, if you can scan that QR code, you can give us a call, you can send us an email. Okay, Chip, I'll make a note and I will double check because I did see that 2 emails went out to you. So I'll double check on that. If you go ahead and scan that QR code, that's going to take you to a specific order for a specific contact form for Probates Daily only. And you'll fill that out. When you fill that out, that comes into us, then you'll get an email back and it's going to have our Calendly link in it. So you can, again, hop in there. You've seen the presentation. It'll just take a couple of minutes. And then depending on what it is that you're looking for, we'll discuss pricing based on what you want. And I will make a note right now to go double check the email, Chip. And if I'll try to send one more, and if you don't get anything back from me, like by tomorrow, if you haven't seen anything, so either respond to that email, and if I don't see a response in the morning, then I will give you a call. What's the best?
Colin has a question too there. Wendy, do you see it?
Yeah, let's see. What is the best approach for probates? I don't want to be too wordy in mine, but I also don't want to come across as a we buy houses type of person. So we have about 30 letters that when you sign up with us, we will give you access to our Dropbox. So some of those are letters that Probates Daily has given us. Some of them are letters that I wrote and used myself when I was working for the investor here in the Tampa area for 5 years. That were successful for us. Some of them are letters that have been successful for other clients. So you're welcome to go in there, take them, throw them in Chat GPT, see what it says, explain it. I have always recommended, and I know my rep at Foreclosures Daily was Angela, and we always went with a very kind of generic, very kind of business-like, something to the effect of, if you're interested in selling 123 Main Street, I'd love to buy it. Something to that effect. It's not quite like that, but that's kind of where it's at. Because you
speak a little bit to
you don't want to be, there's been studies that have said that if you when you start mentioning condolences, that turns people off. I actually had a client tell me the other day that they had done an A/B test on it, and the differences were quite a bit, he said.
There is a kind of I've seen it for years, and clients will take this template, this skeleton, to answer Colin's question, and amend it to their satisfaction. But the basic bones of the outreach says, "Dear Sally, I'm interested in purchasing your property at 1212 Maplewood Avenue. If you are interested in selling, please contact me at your earliest convenience." And you can build upon that, but that says it all. That just cuts right through it. And really, Foreclosures Daily tested that messaging years ago. That's where we got it from. And it works. I hope that helps, Colin.
Could be. Let's see. Great. Let's see here. I think there was another question, but I lost it on my screen. It went away.
I see one. Howard is asking, can you just give a general idea of pricing? And, I think that's fair. So stamps today are 73 cents. We think that paper cost internally, we think that they're going to hold steady for a little bit. Not sure entirely, because paper does come out of Canada. A lot of our paper does. So we're watching our internal costs right now. But, with that, I think that you're looking at somewhere between $1.75 on up to $3.50, depending on what you would like done in that particular mail piece. So that's kind of work that we do. If you're looking for something under $1, that's probably postcards. I don't know what their current pricing is. We can help if you have an interest in postcards. We had enough interest from some of our clients for filler mailings, the ones in between the two bookends. We had a client ask about that. And so that's something that we might can do too, is talk about that for less expensive stuff. But our bread and butter and what we do here at Marketing by Hand is it's a human being and a pen. So that's why it gets opened. So I hope that's helpful.
I don't know. I have a couple of examples of you guys' work I could show. And I wanted to say a couple of things. So this one, I don't know, can you all see it? Can you see it, Jeff?
Oh, I need to stop sharing. There you go.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. So let me show a couple of things, and then we'll come back to Q&A. So if you can see my screen here, here's an example of a card that they sent out for me. And so you can see it's got first class. And then I also like this, actually went around the holidays, and it has a little snowman, right? Wow. So they personalize it, right? And then here's one that went out, and it's I don't see the date right off. And it just says thinking of you, but they're all the forever stamps. So they look handwritten. I mean, they look handwritten. So you can see those. Well, we'll go on. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen, and we'll kind of finish up that part of it. And then we'll go back to Q&As if we have some Q&As. How's that?
Sure.
Okay. So, but thank you very much for the presentation. So now when you become a client of ForeclosuresDaily.com, you're going to get some exclusive bonuses. So not only do you get these wonderful webinars, but you get their 6-step mailing campaign, the 6-touch follow-up strategy, ready-to-use phone scripts, pre-written email templates for the attorneys, professionally designed postcards and letters, my Winning Deals and Heels book, exclusive link for discounted mail rates, exclusive link for reduced skip tracing rates, webinar training on innovative marketing techniques, And there's a webinar that I did on just how I market to pre-probate out there that you can watch. And here's some pricing for pre-probates. Now, if you have been talking to one of the representatives at Foreclosures Daily, then you'll want to follow up with them. But basically the way it works is you buy one county and you get one free. And this is a special that's good through Friday just for the people who are on this webinar. And that includes all of the lead types that I was talking about. So you can spend about $600 for 12 weeks and get one county and then add on 50%, right, for another county. Or spend $999 for 26 weeks, which you're going to save $199, and you get another county at 50% off. Now, the best way to do it is just to buy the year, right, the 52 weeks. And like anything, it takes a little bit of time to get into the groove or whatnot. So I always recommend people don't, you need to like at least start with the 26 weeks, because 12 weeks, you're barely giving yourself a chance. And then if you're in Florida, for the foreclosures, that's $479 for 3 months, $799 for 6 months, or $159 savings, and $12.99 for 1 year. And then you can do the a la carte, such as the absentee, the free and clear, the tax leads for, you can get 500 leads for $1,000. So the bottom line is the more you buy, the more you save. And that's kind of what I have found over the years with foreclosuresdaily.com. Now we're going to go back to see if we have some more Q&A. Let's see, I think we have maybe some. Well, I don't see any more Q&As. I'm just going to kind of throw a shout out for you guys because, I've done it both ways where I've hired somebody and I've gotten I've done it in the very beginning. I did it myself, the handwriting, and your costs are very, very competitive. And plus you save people time, because what I like is that you're able to just, I gave you the parameters of who I wanted to market to. You're just able to go in, pull the list, get the person to write it, and send them out. And I just answered the phone. It was super easy. So I think that that's, a shout out for how marketing by hand can really help you, especially if you're doing it by yourself. You're a 1 or 2 man or woman investor, and you're just trying to scale. This is a great way to scale because you get the leads from Foreclosure Daily, and then you partner with Marketing by Hand, and they can get those leads out for you lickety split, and you're just answering the phone. That's all you're doing. I love it, right? Well, Wendy and Jeff, we have some extra time. Is there anything else you want to add?
Wendy, what do you have? We have a handwriting business and have for a good while. We help a lot of people achieve their goals. What more can we say about handwriting? How do you fill 40 minutes with that?
Yeah. My background with all of the handwriting is that I had created when I as I mentioned, I worked for a real estate investor in the Tampa area for 5 years, and I created in-house and ran everything. So basically what the diamond is now, I created and ran it in-house, and I hired my own writers. I did all of this myself, and I was also his admin, and we were a small outfit. So I was doing acquisitions, and I was doing, I was doing dispositions. It was crazy. And I was talking to my rep at Foreclosures Daily one day, and she's like, "You've got to meet Jeff." Cause I told her, I'm like, "I can't do this. I'm pulling my hair out. I have no time." She introduced me to Jeff. And that's where Jeff and I met. And so Jeff took what we were doing, because it wasn't something he was doing at the time, and ran that. And so he ran that for us for about 3 years. And then when I decided a few years ago that it was time to move on, Jeff was like, the real estate investing, direct mail. I've been doing direct mail since I was, I don't want to tell you how long ago, but it's been over 30 years. So we won't go any further than that. But I've been doing direct mail for a very long time. Yeah. And, it's just, it worked because I had the background, Jeff had a different background, and together we kind of cover all of the bases, especially when it comes to real estate and direct mail. So it works. And like I said, if you have an idea of something that you want that we don't do right now, you just let us know and we'll do our very best to help you. I do see, let's see, I see Chip's got a note. I'm looking at alternative mailings, letter, postcard, etc. That, Chip, that is something that we've had somebody mention to us, and we can do that. So where it goes, letter, postcard, we are actually, we have a way of using a postcard. It's not going to be handwritten unless you want it to be. And then there's some other things. So, but if you're wanting a cheaper thing, so like if Jeff says you want to book in with the very best thing at the beginning, and then you want to throw a postcard in there, and then maybe you want to do another handwritten piece, and then you want to do a postcard, and then finish with another handwritten piece. We do have the ability to do that. It's just something that we'll need to discuss, find out what the lists look like, what kind of the quantities we're looking at, because it's not going to be just the standard postcard from around the corner. It's going to be completely customized, just like everything else that we do. We are a boutique shop. Primarily handwriting, but we do have clients that have asked about postcards. And I do know that a postcard can be an effective piece in a direct mail campaign. I always, like I said, I ran handwriting, direct mail handwriting. So I'm a big fan of that, but I know that a postcard thrown in somewhere is helpful. Not only just for the price, but it's just an extra piece to add. So yes, it is something that we can do. We just need to discuss what it is that you're looking for, and then we can give you some parameters and some pricing on that.
Yeah.
Then Eugene also has a question, Wendy. He wanted to know if this was a good strategy for wholesaling.
I'm not sure. I have, let's say, we have 2 clients that wholesale. But I don't know. I did not wholesale. I'm going to be honest with you. We bought, fixed, and flipped. So we didn't wholesale. So I don't
Absolutely.
have with wholesaling. But we have had clients that are wholesaler or that do wholesaling. So I would say yes, because you're still getting the property.
Yeah. Yeah. We're seeing a few more hold and flip and some other things besides wholesaling, but typically we see a lot of wholesalers that use Probate's daily data. So I'll say, I will add that this is actually if you're passionate about marketing, this is a very fun place to be here at Marketing by Hand. There's other things that we do. Wendy she has experience in real estate investing. I do not, so we always get tickled when we find certain scripts that work really well, or come across a client that's doing something really radically different. So it's interesting. One of our we do more than real estate. So we go into insurance. When you have a handwriting shop, there's interesting things that we've done. We've done graduation thank you letters. So we can be leveraged for other things too. In fact, we've looked into branding in some other areas, but that is what we do, is professionally produce handwritten product on time, quality controlled. It works excellent with an older audience, generally more mature audience, somebody that knows how to write in cursive and has done that. So the senior market, which, probates kind of fit a little bit there, because your average, I forget what the term is, but the person getting the house, right, the recipient of the property tends to be more mature, because a death has occurred, typically in a parent or a spouse. So I think that's why we work so well in this space, is because of the age of the audience too.
And I agree with that. And pre-probate too, Jeff. Pre-probate
too.
So
yeah.
well, it looks like we've gone through all the questions. I don't see any open questions. So I guess we're gonna wrap a little early. Is that all right with you guys?
That is okay. Next time we'll speak more.
It's okay. It was good. It was good. Sometimes it doesn't have to be long to get the good message out. So I want to thank everybody for attending tonight, and we will see you next month. Have a happy Easter. Have a happy spring break if that's still going on, and stay safe wherever you are. Thank you again, Jeff and Wendy, for attending tonight. Really appreciate it. It was very good information. So We'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
All right.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.